That's why I was Swifty, and I changed my name to Swifty McVay.
Oh.
Proof Dirty Harry. You know, yeah, my rap name was Swift, a.k.a. Swifty, but when I got with D12 with my different identity, I changed it to Swifty McVay.
With Detroit like Brandon on my chest. Rockin' with Detroit like Brandon on my chest.
Hey guys, welcome to Detroit Life Films. I'm Chris Wren, and today I'm so blessed and honored to have the one and only one, Swifty McVay in the house. Swifty, welcome.
Yo, what it do?
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of the brand. I have so many questions for you. Where do I start? I guess I'll start from the beginning. So, first question of the day, where did you grow up?
I grew up west side of 7 Mile, man. 7 Mile in Illinois is my stomping grounds. Detroit, Michigan, right in the Avenue of Fashion.
Right there, yeah, right there, Illinois,
Right,
between 7 and 8 Mile.
Yep, right there in the Avenue of Fashion, man. I actually lived right off of 7 Mile. I went to an 8 Mile elementary school, 7 Mile junior high school, 7 Mile high school, and that's where I was born and raised, man, all the way into a grown man.
Wow, can we ask what year you grew up there?
You know, all through the half of the 70s, all through the 80s, all through the 90s, into the 2000s. That was my stomping grounds.
Wow.
Never ever moved anywhere else.
Now, how did that impact you growing up as a man, being a part of the Detroit, and being a part of technically Detroit fashion? Like, did that mold you to like do different things growing up, like through high school and all that?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, I come from an area where fashion was very important, man. You know, we had the 7 Mile BKs. Big shout out to the 7 Mile BKs.
Oh, yeah, British Knights.
Yep. Yeah, they say the British, they used to wear British Knights. You know what I'm saying? You know, 7 Mile BKs stood for black killers that wore British Knights.
Oh,
and because
I didn't know that.
give you a little history. Because of the BKs, they wore the British Knights, whatever. So snakeskin belts, silk shirts, you know, kangaroo boots, Max Julians with the furry hoodies. That was our thing back then. I used to watch the OGs wear them, man. So fashion was a big thing, man. People was around there, you know, making it a high standard to be fresh.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was very influenced back there.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm the youngest of 6 girls, man. I'm the youngest of 6 girls.
I'm just finding this out.
Yep, I'm the youngest of 6 girls. We got the same mama, same daddy. I got a half brother that lives in Australia. You know, big shout out to him. And I was raised with my sisters and my niece. Man, my niece was like a sister. She's 3 years younger than me. She grew up in the same house.
Wow.
So she's my niece, but she's like a sister. So basically, I grew up with 7 girls in the house. Yeah, I guess I should have been a pimp.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Okay, move forward.
I'm just playing, man.
Oh my gosh. Well, so rewinding the clocks. How I have to ask you, you know this is coming. How did you ever get into music? I'm sure music was wrapped with fashion. How did you ever get into the music scene?
Man, let me tell you, man. Do you want me to just be specific? Like, specific?
Well, just generally.
Okay, just generally. I've been in the music ever since I was like 6 years old, man. This is all I ever wanted to do. The only thing that I ever wanted to do to fall back on if the music didn't work was I was into karate. I like, beating up people when I was young.
Wow.
And gymnastics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was into gymnastics. Every time gymnastics came around that year, I would always look at gymnastics, they flipping and all that. And I taught myself how to do gymnastics on my own. So that was one thing that I wanted to get into was that.
I didn't know that.
But music, that was it. I mean, you know, besides the karate and gymnastics, that's all I ever wanted to do. So when I was 6 years old and seen Run DMC on the screen, it was a rap. And when he said Calvin Klein, no friend of mine, don't want nobody's name on my behind, that metaphor, I knew what Calvin Klein's was. I knew it was in the back of pants. And I was just like, I want to start writing clever stuff. So ever since then, I just kept it rolling, man. You know, writing raps in my kitchen at 7 years old. 4 a.m, mama used to wake me up like, clean the table up. I'm just like, okay. Battling on a playground at 8 years old. When I was 13 years old, I had a manager. When I was 15 years old, I had a manager. Did shows around the city. Went to New York for the first time at 16.
16, New York City.
Yep, just to
That's
get a
scary,
deal.
man.
I wrote down all the record label addresses on paper. Didn't have no appointments. Old school. Just went there, walked in, like, what up? Every year I traveled out of town to try to get a deal, man. You know.
Wow.
Yep. So this is all I've been trying to do all my life, music.
I've been in New York, man. It's a scary place. When you walk into these places with no appointment. They half the time they don't want to see you. They don't want to talk. Oh, she's busy. Leave your name. They'll never call you back. Of course.
Man, yeah, they deal with so
That's
many
crazy.
people out there, man. It's a whole another zone because they deal with so many different people who trying to get on, man, and the energy out there is just unmatched. So you just gotta really, really have thick skin.
And persistence, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
So going back, you said you wrote your lyrics down. What did you write them on? Like what? Like did you keep them in your pocket or did you have like a
Man,
drawer?
Let me tell you, I
Like
used
crayons?
I used to take paper, man, and I used to always have my album set up before I had any music or anything. So when I had pen and paper, sit down at the table, let me get all my titles together. Let me figure out what my title's gonna be. Didn't even have beats, but if I ever made a song, this is the beat in my head that I would want to use. And just used to write albums, just imaginary albums with no beat, man. I just used to beat up
Wow.
the table and write raps, and just had them ready, man.
So when you heard some of the beats going forward, did you have to kind of alter the beat? Did you teach yourself then to rap, I guess? Because,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I taught myself, man. I mean, you know,
Wow.
trials and tribulations. You know, I just went with the times. I came up in a time where the old school rappers who set the trends, you know, you can tell who you listen to the most because I was trying to find myself.
Sure.
I ended up sounding like who I listened to the most because I wanted to rap at a time where rap just pretty much started. So they were the trendsetters was right in front of me, and this is what it sounded like. This is who I sounded like until I found my own mojo.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Who'd you sound like then?
Rakim, Big Daddy
okay.
Kane, you know, LL Cool J.
Oh, yeah.
Those
I
are the
remember him.
ones who inspired me. You know what I'm saying?
And then I remembered Run This Way, Rock This Way.
Oh, yeah.
It was like rock and rap and they bang through the storage unit. Like,
Oh, yeah,
I'm sure there's
yeah.
people rapping in the storage unit, but we've never heard anything like that before. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh yeah, like
Eh,
Run DMC
it's cool.
trendsetters. They trendset. A lot of people don't know
Wow.
they was the first MCs to get an endorsement deal with clothes. A
Wow.
lot of people don't know Adidas.
Kangos
was the
and
first,
Adidas.
Yeah, Adidas
What's
was
Kangos?
the first endorsement deal that rappers ever had in history.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yep, Run DMC was the first rappers who ever went platinum. They was the first rappers that ever made it on MTV. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So watching them inspired me, and I just, you know, mimicked them because I thought this is what it needed to sound like. So as rap, you know, evolutionized and got different, I just started to find my own style, man, and got better and better and better. Man, I got a lot of songs from back then that I listen to now that I'd be like, oh, man, this is so whack, man. I don't want nobody to get their hands on it.
But you had to go through that
I
growing
had to.
spurt, I'm sure,
Yep.
like as designers as I did.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
pretty interesting to me because, you know, moving forward and many years later, you don't know how to mold yourself. But if we rewind it a little bit after writing your raps down and going to New York, you said, what happened with that? How did that turn out?
Well, you know what, man? I went to New York.
record
Like I said, I
labels.
went to New York for the first time at 16. You know, walked in there. Didn't really pop, but then I went back to New York again when I was 18. Walked
2 years
in there,
later.
almost got a deal. You know, one of the producers we was with at the time, you know, was supposed to send him more music, but he didn't take the music serious, man. So
Yeah.
he made us lose a deal. It was actually with Def Jam. We walked into Def
Oh, okay.
Jam and they kept us in their office for like 6 to 7 hours, sat us down, got us a
Wow.
hotel. They loved our music and our demo. As soon as we went back to Detroit, was supposed to send them more music. The producer, man, he
So
just
is that
dropped the ball.
with yourself or with other
That was
artists?
me. I was with a group called Rabies back then.
Okay.
You know, we was like real popular. We was like hood stars, man. This was before the D12 days. So me and the Rabies just used to just go to Philadelphia, go to, you know, New Jersey, New York, just randomly. Just
traveling.
to try to, we
Getting out there.
I actually went to New York again without my rap partner, and I always traveled every year to try to go get a deal. That's all we did. The year didn't go past without me
years and
trying
years.
to try to go to another state. to
What'd you
get a
do in the
deal.
middle of the year? Just doing shows, small shows,
This
or just rapping?
studio.
Were you
rapping.
working at all in the middle of this?
Every now and then, odd jobs, you know what I'm saying, working here and there, but my time was resorted to going to the studio, hip hop shop.
Which you had to pay for the studio time, I'm sure.
Absolutely. And then I had a lot of producers who took me up under their wing too. That was a blessing. Like, so I didn't have to pay for a lot of studio time
Right.
because it was always producers and managers who believed in me, who actually was like, yo, I want to take you up under my wing and come record because they believed in me. So that was a blessing. So that's why when I see people outside with CDs, I always buy one from them or I listen to them because God blessed me with the opportunity to get supported by people. So I see where other people coming from when they try to get on. I try to give them that love because I know God gave me that same love by putting people in my life that believed in me, which was a blessing. You know what I'm saying? It didn't work out with a lot of people. And sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't. But I'm thankful that I got put into them zones. So, yeah.
That's crazy.
Crazy, yeah.
So you said earlier D12. Let's talk about D12. First of
Yeah.
all, how did you even get into that scene? How did you find everybody you were with in the band? What happened exactly?
Man, it's crazy, man. Like with D12, man, we've been knowing each other, and we all been cool before I actually got in the group. So a lot of people might have think that I got in the group, just met everybody, and it was just like this new thing. But no, I've been knowing everybody in D12 for years before I actually got in the group.
Wow.
So yeah, I had my own thing going on. Everybody was solo artists. I met con artists at the Grand Quarters. The building is tore down now in downtown Detroit. It was at the Grand Quarters, was on Grand Boulevard, as a matter of fact. 2 years later, he was at the hip hop shop. He brought Conniver. I met Conniver through him. I met Bizarre at the hip hop shop. Proof grandmother stayed 5 blocks from me. I met Proof at his grandmother's block, but he stayed on the east side with Conniver and them, so he was going back and forth. Went to the hip hop shop. He introduced me to him. You know what I'm saying? So I used to see everybody every week, every Saturday for years.
Wow.
Rocking the mic with them. They invite me to shows. I go to shows. They invite me to studio sessions. I go to studio sessions. I invite them back and forth until one day Proof came up with an idea to do a Detroit version of the Wu-Tang Clan. So he whispered in all the elite MCs and ears and said, hey, I got an idea to put together a group called D12. You want to be in it? You can be in it. Me, I was a part of another group already, so I was like, nah. But me and Bugs, which was a part of D12, Bugs thought that it would be a good idea that I joined because I went solo. Me and my old group member disbanded. I was solo. Bugs was like, yo, come on in. I came in. 2 weeks later, Bugs got murdered.
Wow.
And then we made a pact that said whoever gets signed first will come and grab everybody else. M got signed with Dre, got on, album went platinum. He came back, created his record company, pulled us in, and it was history.
Wow. How does that make you feel? Like looking back on the beginning, like from the struggle to him coming back and getting you. What do you think about that?
Man, I mean, it was a great thing, man. I mean, you know, once I seen How My Name Is video in my mother's living room, it was just, the feeling was just, I can't even explain the feeling of that comfortable, like, yeah, it's almost like you sitting in a ditch and you got nowhere to go, and then all of a sudden you see somebody look down on you and throw some rope. And you're like,
Finally, I know somebody that actually kept his word or whatever. And
Yep. Like they like, I'll be right back. I'll be back with some rope. And you just sitting there in that ditch, just ready to get out of this ditch. And then all of a sudden you come back and you look up and the rope is in his hand and he throw it down. That's the feeling that, you know. Yeah. So once he did that, man, I got hungry. I was already hungry, but everybody was inspired, and we knew that we had to take our material to the next level, man. So we went to the studio and went hard. You know, Proof had ended up moving to New Jersey, and then we went out to New Jersey, took like 3 buses and 4 subways to the studio, made the demo, came back, gave it to M. M was like, yo, I knew I was gonna come back and get y'all, but now that y'all showing me that y'all hungry, I'm going to create my own record label and put y'all up under the record label so y'all won't have to wait so long to come out. So he created Shady Records. We the first artists on Shady Records. Blam. The rest is history.
dude, that's like so like when you talk about it, it makes you think, like gives you goosebumps a little bit. Like, I mean, you talk about it now, but when you look back on social media and everything, like what happened, it's just mind blowing.
Yeah.
Like, so from going to that point to, I'm sure you did tours. Like, where have you been? Where did D12 take you and M and all them to? Where'd you guys exactly go and what'd you guys do?
I can say, man, we went around the world 2 or 3 times. I can humbly say that, man. It's a few continents we haven't been to yet. You know, maybe like Africa and stuff like that, and like Egypt and all that. But like Europe, we went to Europe 1,000 times. We went to Australia 1,000 times, Japan 1,000 times. And we've been on a lot of tours, man. It's like a blur. You know, a lot of great moments. You know, we paid our dues. I always tell people it's 2 dues you got to pay. First dues is the dues you pay in the hood when you're trying to get on. Second dues is the dues you got to pay after you get signed. So we went through it, man. And people done died, you know, coming up in this game to get what we needed to get, man. So I'm just blessed to be able to have the opportunity to be able to touch the people around the world, and people appreciate my music. And that's what's up.
Man, that, like, I'm like, gives me kind of goosebumps thinking about all that. I know we can go deeper, but we won't have too much time. But so from today moving forward, and I know started like 2 years ago. I think we met a couple
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, maybe like 3 years, man.
You know, I knew the name. I knew you were on D12, and we hooked up. I know we done collaborations. I know we got something big coming out. You did the Detroit Life
Yep.
Volume 1 a
Absolutely.
year ago.
Yep.
I know you got some skill. I know you got some mad talent.
My man, good look.
I know that D12 is kind of not around. You know, RIP, Proof and everything that happened with that. But as far as the group goes, name one of the best memories that you can name, I guess, from being in that, you know, years ago, being in what you guys did, traveling or whatever.
Shoot, man, that's a wild question, man, because it never been a dull moment. It never been a
can
dull
imagine.
moment. Like, we laughed about something every day. And when I mean, and no exaggerating, it wasn't a day that went past we didn't laugh about something, whether it was in the studio, whether we toured, whether we chilling with each other, man, at a show, behind stage, whatever, man. We laughed and enjoyed the moment because everybody's energy matched. Everybody was on one accord. Everybody was aiming for the same goal. And that's why things feel like a big blur, because we had so many great moments, man. If you ask, I would be sitting here scratching my head trying to find one because it was so many of them, man. But just being around everybody and the energy and knowing that we were on one accord and everybody, was open-minded and the same level of open-mindedness creativity-wise. Wasn't nobody no leader, although Proof was a founder, and he was the one who knew a little bit more than us when it came to the industry and taught us a lot. But he didn't say, well, I'm the leader. It wasn't no leader. It was just everybody was comfortable in their own skin, creating and doing what we needed to do. And that's why our chemistry was so strong. Not to mention we knew each other before we actually got together.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, but the chemistry was just strong. And with that being said, that's the recipe, man, for a great group, great music, and great history. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I know you got that 100% mentality of positive energy.
My
I know
mans.
where you got it from.
I appreciate it.
We're so blessed to have you aboard with the brand.
Thank you.
We've done so many collaborations, but it doesn't seem like it's enough. Like, I feel like every time we do something really great, you got this next idea. I got this next idea.
Yeah.
So being part of Detroit Life and this new 313 collab we got coming out.
Absolutely.
What inspires you to do stuff with Detroit Life, I guess?
Man, me loving Detroit, me being a Detroit native, 7 Mile representative, to put these good quality clothes on my back, man, makes me feel empowered, man. You know what I'm saying? Before I put the clothing line on and I go to different places, man, I already feel empowered and proud to be from Detroit. But just to have this on, man, takes it to the next level. And not only the clothes are great quality, not only are they dope, the feeling I get to be able to represent, not only lyrically, but through clothes, it resonates through the creativity of what I want to put down to the fans, too. So when I put this on, it's almost like me being Thor with a hammer or walking into that phone booth with Superman,
I like that.
you know what I'm saying? So
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a very good point, because I've always said it's way more than a T-shirt. It's
Yep.
empowering your city, the people, the fans.
Absolutely.
And it starts with yourself. You got to empower yourself to inspire and empower everybody.
Absolutely.
Swifty, I got to ask you, how did you come up with the Rabies?
The Rabies. All right, man. The Rabies is a group. Came out with that name, man, back in the late 80s. Big shout out to Beretta, a.k.a. Mr. Wrong, man. We decided to get that name. We was called the Outcasts. And then we had to get Outcasts up because of the Outcasts. Big shout out to Big Boy and Andre 3000.
Yep.
We seen their video and we looked at each other, was like, oh, man, we got to change our
We
name. So we always looked at each other as, rabid dogs. Like, that's my dog. And then we always had what we call a lyrical dog style. So we just wanted to translate it and say, with dogs with a rabbit style. And we always talk that crazy, horror, type of lyrics, man. So rabbit, we got a rabbit style. And that's how we came at MCs when we was at the hip hop shop, man. So Rabies pretty much stand for dogs with a rabbit lyrical style. And when you hear us rap, it's like, damn, we coming at you like dogs with rabies.
Right.
So that's pretty much what it stood
Crazy.
for, man. Yeah.
All right, I got to ask the next question. How did you guys come up with the name D12?
Well, Proof came up with the idea. Of course, the D represents the Detroit symbol of the D. D12 stands for Dirty Dozen. And when it first was created, it was 12 MCs. You know, and 12 MCs, everybody kept falling off the map. Some would stay, some would not stay. And then when the smoke cleared, it was only 6 MCs. And then it was like, okay, well, how are we going to be Dirty Dozen with 6 MCs? And we said, you know what? We're going to have 2 different identities. That's why Eminem changed his name to Slim Shady. That's why I was Swifty, and I changed my name to Swifty McVay.
Oh.
Proof Dirty Harry. You know, yeah, my rap name was Swift, aka Swifty, but when I got with D12 with my different identity, I changed it to Swifty McVay. You know, and
That's crazy.
Yep. And then Con Artist, you know, the Nine, aka the Con Artist, and then Canava, Rondell Bean, Bizarre, Peter S. Bizarre. So basically 6 MCs, 2 identities, which makes 12 guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy if you think about it. I heard the story before, but when you say it, it's much more real, like face to face.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And if you guys don't know, all you gotta do is Google D12. But just in case you don't know, we're gonna tell you. So, Mr. McVay, what is all your social media platforms? And actually for booking, and what is the most platform you're on the most?
The platform that I'm on the most is Instagram. You can actually holler at me on Instagram at McVay D12. That is MCVAY D12. Same for the Twitter, MCVAY D12. Facebook, I'm on there every now and then, but I'm on there a lot, but not as much as Instagram, which is facebook.com/Swifty D12. You know, so you can holler at me on all those platforms, especially Instagram. If you want me to holler at you about something, I might reply and say, what up, though?
That's what's up.
It's really, really me. I don't have no blue tag,
was
but
gonna ask
that's
that.
really me. Yeah, it's not certified. I don't care about all that certification. It is me on there. I don't have people online putting pictures and stuff up for me, man. It's me doing all of it. So
That's
holla
what's
at
up.
your boy. Yeah.
And Swifty, you're drinking that delicious Detroit Life water, but website, what's your website?
This is actually Absolute.
Oh no, take it easy. This is
I
not
know.
sponsored by Absolute.
This is
That is Ciroc vodka.
This is Ocean Spray Cocktail. This is Detroit Life water, man. This is delicious, man.
Well,
This is like,
oh, sorry.
this got a pH balance of 20.
9.6.
This is good, man. Come to Detroit Life store, get you some water, get you some gear, get you some masks, get you some skull caps, get you a Carhartt
Nice
jacket,
nice
man.
jacket.
Get you this Long John shirt. Thermal.
Who's John? No.
My website is allthingsd12.com. Go holler at us. Just recently launched. Big shout out to Canava. We got some big things coming, man. When you check the website out, you see our catalog on there. We got some new music. Detroit Life 2 is coming.
That's
Real
actually what I want to
massive.
talk to you about next. What's next for the collaboration with Detroit Life and the Swifty McVay?
Yeah, man, we actually coming out with a Detroit Life 2, and we're going to go ahead and put it together where we can have some clothes merged in with the album. So if you're looking for that big package deal, you got it. Some great music with some clothes to go with it. You know what I'm saying? Detroit Life clothes, that is. I'm working on My Brother's Keeper 2 with my brother Canava from D12.
I didn't even know.
Yeah,
That's what's
you
up.
know, yep. We just started to launch that. But what's next is that Detroit Life 2. I'm like 80% done with it, man. So
Ooh.
be on the lookout for that.
Now, is that the cipher or
yep.
is that?
Yeah, we got a Detroit
I don't
Life
wanna ruin it
cipher
all.
on there, man, with some massive Detroit artists on there, man. I ain't gonna tell you who it is. It's gonna catch you by surprise. So be on the lookout for that, man. And we collaborating, man. We got some things going on. Me and Chris Reynolds, you know, we putting it together like the zipper on the butter leather, man. So let's go.
That's what's up, man. If you guys got more questions and want to check out more, click on this link, and Swifty McVay will give you a hug.
Sorry, no.
Well, hey, Swifty, thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate you. And, man, I can't wait for the collaborations we have coming out.
Yes,
I didn't
sir.
talk about the 313 because we're going to drop that on the world when your lyrics are
yeah,
ready.
absolutely.
But thank you
It's
so much
cooking.
for being on the show. And we'll see you guys soon.
Thanks for having me, man. Peace out. I salute y'all and everybody who support the brand and support Swifty McVay. Let's get it.
Rockin' with Detroit like Brandon on my chest. Rockin' with Detroit like Brandon on my chest.